You know, I mean, a lot of people be like, so you could be talking about other things, and that's true. That's true. There's a lot of things that I'm familiar with. There's a lot of things that I know. There's a lot of things I don't know. There's more things I don't know than the things that I do know. But, when it comes to these topics, these private topics, public topics, whatever. When it comes to these topics, we get into here on the foundation. I stick specifically mostly to what I know we need the most, and that is the reestablishment of our foundation with regards to doing business, with regards to saving money, with regards to investing. We need to reestablish what we know, because we were taught about public schools and we were misinformed, and we've been doing what we were taught in public schools our whole life, and we're broke. We don't have bread. We don't have real estate. We don't have the real estate we want. And we don't have multi-generational wealth. So there's something going on, and it's been going on for multiple generations. So as far as I'm concerned, the foundation is understanding what's really going on with this commercial system, how to maneuver in it, how to maximize the benefits and mitigate the liabilities. Hands down, I don't think there's anything else to be focused on, because, everyone's trapped in some sort of commercial realm. All crimes are commercial. I mean, Yusuf will tell you all day what's going on. You're still talking about the rules of the game. You got to learn the rules of the game. There is no money. There is no money. This is the money of account system, not a money of exchange. Paper, pieces of paper, dude. Look. So we know this, though, right? We know this. We definitely know this. But what people don't know is that there are structures that you can create within your family privately that are recognized to do business in commercial jurisdictions in over 120 countries in this world, on this earth, that you can create privately yourself, no permission from the state, no governance from the state. And I think that's the most important. Look, and that's how we regain control of our homes, our private finances. And then the next step is start a business. You have to start a family business or two. Start a business. Stop exchanging your labor under the auspices or under the association of an individual entity that was created by the state. That birth certificate has a state seal on it. Family, not a private family seal or a private seal from your grandmother or great-grandfather. Look, it has a state seal on it and a bunch of state actors' signatures that aren't from your family. Social Security number is just that. It's a federal Social Security identifying number. And people think that's us. It's not you. It's the worst position to be doing business from. That's what the foundation is about. Understand this fundamental truth that the entity that's been given to you or assigned to you by the state that you were, quote, born in is not for your benefit, not for your family's benefit. It's for the benefit of the public. That's why I need a public defender. And people don't get it. Like, I get a public defender. What do you mean you get it? Why? If you're a private citizen, do you need a public defender? But people don't get that. And, I don't want to get into that stuff because I feel like there's rabbit holes that we can get into when it comes to a lot of different things, There's a lot of different theories and rabbit holes when it comes to waking up to the fact that there's something wrong, something's going on. It's not right. It's not because I'm not smart. It's not because I'm not intelligent. It's because I've been taught certain type of information that doesn't serve me and my family. And as we come into the information that does serve oneself and one's family, it is a specific lifestyle change. And we always, a lot of people, I feel, discuss the benefits of trust, and that's cool. The distinctions of trust, and I appreciate that. but few are talking about, in my opinion, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not paying close attention. But in my opinion, few people are looking at private trust protection. Most people want to get them together. Most people want to get them funded. Most people want to capture, the birth certificate and then put it in trust, and then the trust owns. And it's so, I don't know. Some people are, talking about doing a bunch of things, putting their house in the trust. I want to put my family assets in the trust. I want to put my car. I got a vehicle. It's paid off. I want to put it in the trust. Can I do that? Yeah, you could do that. Can you help me? And I assist trustees in everything with regards to establishing and transitioning into your private estate. That's what trustee training is all about. But I feel like few people are discussing, private trust protections and how private trust protections are afforded to a trust. How do you afford private trust protections? And what I'm specifically talking about is, the biggest threats, so to speak, from the public are not necessarily threats unless you aren't properly administering the trust estate. But I'm going to say them. The two biggest threats to your private estate are allegations of commingling and self-dealing. Those are the two biggest threats to your private estate. I'm going to tell you this. Due to the fact that the trust does not owe its existence to state legislation of the several states, therefore it's not governed by any state legislation. It's governed by the contract itself. It has contract rights. Contract rights is a constitutional issue in question if there's a breach of said contract. It supersedes the state. Supersedes. But allegations of self-dealing and commingling don't necessarily. And those allegations can exist on state and federal levels and can result in some sort of audit to be triggered. Commingling and self-dealing. So when it comes to, private trust protection, you want to understand where, in my opinion, some of the most possibly compromising situations are, and that they exist first and foremost, and you know what they are. I'm going to start off with number one. All right, first one. First look at private trust protection is making sure that you are very specific and that you are very, 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 very particular when it comes to sales, exchanges, and dealings with trust property. Because trustees, they do have broad powers to deal with the property of the trust. Trustees may sell, exchange, they may rent, and do one of a number of things with respect to trust, provided that such actions are taken carefully and with forethought. Trustees do not really own the property. They are merely using it for the benefit of the beneficiaries. No piece of property owned by the trust should be sold, exchanged, leased, or otherwise handled without the approval of the Board of Trustees in accordance with the terms of the trust indenture. And then how do you substantiate that approval of the Board of Trustees? How do you substantiate that approval? And I'm not asking like I'm expecting someone to answer, because I know no one can answer, because I didn't open anyone's mic. But how do you substantiate that? How do you substantiate approval of the Board of Trustees in accordance with the terms of the trust indenture? You do that through a trust minute and a resolution. If you knew that, that's what's up. You're doing your dance, and, you're getting there. If you didn't know that, you just learned something. It's a blessing or a lesson. It is always a good sound practice to write all important decisions into trust minutes. This serves the purpose of proving the trustees are acting in their capacity as trustees, and also constitutes a written memorandum which will prove the terms of the arrangement are being adhered to. Because in a minute, you're going to call up the original trust indenture and point to the language that gives you the authority to do what you're doing or deciding as the board of trustees. And this is a protection measure. You got to get ahead of things, especially in the private. You got to get ahead of stuff. It's vastly, immensely difficult to go back and fix stuff. And then you're going to run the risk every time of looking like or appearing as though you are participating in some sort of tax evasive behavior. And you don't want to do that. I'm serious. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. These people, they punch in and out every single day. And this is what they get paid to do. They're about to do this until they retire. Do not get these people focused on you, especially if you ain't doing your dance correctly. If you're doing your dance correctly, it's just going to be ultimately a waste of time. Time messing with these fools that would be better utilized either educating yourself to further so that you can properly execute your fiduciary duties as trustee of your private estate, or by growing the assets of the private estate. You're going to get more of return than messing with these Internal Revenue Service dudes and, different city and county official actors and stuff. So sales, exchanges, dealings with trust property, all of it. You better record that stuff. I'm going to give you this stuff for the free. I'm stepping on toes right now. 100%. But that's one of the hallmarks of Sot L. Number two, when you're looking at private trust protection, you got to look at when you're trying to borrow from the trust. Any type of borrowing from the trust. If any money is loaned to someone from the trust, it must be done in writing and done carefully. This is especially true when money is loaned to the grantor, which I don't recommend at all. The most important requirement is that such a loan be approved by the complete board of trustees, and the loan agreement should include adequate interest, adequate security, and a payback plan. Personally, I'm administering a trust estate. We ain't borrowing no money to no grantor. It's irrevocable. Figure it out. And they ain't borrowing no money to trustees or beneficiaries. Now, how do you get around that? There's ways around that. There's definitely ways around that. And we all know, well, maybe not, but we should know that loans it's not income. Loans aren't taxable. But the repayment of a loan, the interest, is deductible. I'm sidetracking. But borrowing from the trust, no beneficiaries, no trustees, no grantor, no. Like I said, there's ways around that, but, I would suggest you get into trustee training. You do a consultation, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, because you gotta understand, trust administration is hundreds and hundreds of years old. And I'm sure, you're very intellectually savvy, you're smart, and, you pick up things really quick. You out of your whole family, you were always just picking up, you out of your friends, you just pick up stuff quick, you do it harder than most people. What I'm telling you, though, is trust and trust administration is very, very old. It goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. And if you don't find mentors, you don't get into trustee training, you don't find people who can put you on the right path, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it in your lifetime. Trustee training is a charitable curriculum. Man, it's charitable. If the trust is sued, let's jump on to number 3. A trustee assumes no personal liability as long as the exercise of their power is within the terms of the trust indenture. And this is why you want to know the trust contract. I mean, trustees should know the indenture almost by heart. Almost by heart. And if you don't, shame on you, boo-boo. But trustees should know their trust indenture almost by heart. Or by heart. Why not? So as long as the trustee is exercising the power granted within the terms of the trust indenture, there's no personal liability. The first thing that should be done in the event of a lawsuit is to contact an attorney or the person so designated to hear such things that are on the board of trustees. Do not give any statements or write any letters concerning the matter until you have had an opportunity to discuss the matter with your attorney. It's the same thing. We all know. Don't talk. Don't say anything. No matter if the IRS, don't matter if they come in and they start making accusations and just they're raising their voice and they're threatening and they're saying that people are going to jail. Keep your mouth shut. There have been many. I've read many cases and I've been witness to times where people just didn't shut up. And when it comes to a private trust and protecting private trust, the non-disclosure clause is paramount. Keep your mouth shut. You're not authorized to discuss trust business. Only the Board of Trustees is authorized to designate what can be discussed with regards to trust business. I don't care if it's an IRS agent. I don't care if it's a sheriff. I don't care if it's the police department. I don't care if it's ATF. I don't care if it's a SWAT team. Your trust is private, and you're under non-disclosure. You want trust protections? You got to act in a certain way. You have to administer in a certain way, and you have to understand what's going on. Moving forward, another aspect to keep in mind when you're looking at protection of your private estate and private trust, you got to pay attention when you're paying expenses of the trust. And that's because only money spent which is specifically and actually connected with the operation, management, or running of the trust can be an expense of the trust. It's got to be evidence in the indenture. It's got to be actually connected with trust operation, management, or running. Whenever possible, expenses of the trust should be paid by check from the trust checking account. That would be the number one. And a lot of people miss that in the day and age of debit and credit cards and cash apps and Venmos and stuff. Oh, can I just cash app it to you? No. You can be forwarded an invoice from the trust, or the trust does accept cash or checks in the name of the trust. Unless you have a Venmo account set up directly connected in the name and, of the trust and the bank account of the trust. Ain't no Venmo, ain't no Cash App, nothing. Paying checks will be useful as a record and can prove the operations of the trust to be separate from those as individuals acting as its trustees, and that's important. And that's another thing, one of the main things of starting your business, one of the main things of, organizing and beginning to execute and administer a trust estate is that they need to be separate and distinct. And one of the main things is that it needs to have its own bank account. I ain't paying nothing for you out of my bank account. So why would I be paying something for the trust out of my bank account? It's another person. It's a legal person. Unless there's some sort of arrangement, we're friends, and it's a gift. or I loaned you money or something. I ain't paying nothing for you on my account. What's up? This is the same thing goes for a trust. Why are you paying for trust stuff out of your account? Or why are you paying for your stuff out of trust account? It's either commingling of assets or that's self-dealing. You're either commingling your assets with the trust, which is a big no-no, or you're self-dealing. You're dealing with trust assets for yourself. Huge no-no. Opposite of protection. Expenses incurred in the administration, management, conservation, and protecting of the trust can be reasonable compensation of the caretakers and trustees for work performed on behalf of the trust, and reasonable compensation does not necessarily have to be Federal Reserve notes. 2, reasonable compensation for any person or entity which provides service, articles, or utilities to the trust or on behalf of the trust property. Lights, gas, phone service maybe. Depends. What does the trust need? 3, any expense in the operation, maintenance, cleaning, repair, or otherwise caring for the property of the trust. That would include real estate, vehicles, clothes, laptops, computers. I don't know. The trust can own anything. It's a legal person. So, if you're smart. Number 5, the payment of taxes, charges, assessments, or license fees on behalf of the trust or the trust property. Number 6, expenses of capital improvements on behalf of the trust property. Number 7, insurance premiums with respect to policies owned by the trust and of which the trust is the beneficiary. Now, insurance, ordinarily the insured owns their life insurance policy. That means the policy is in, the insured's name, his or her. And they're the policy owner. One of the biggest estate tax advantages is to get the ownership of the life insurance policy out of your name and into the name of the trust. It's not difficult. The owner merely contacts the issuing insurance company indicating that they would like to transfer the policy and the policy ownership into the name of the trust. In transferring a life insurance policy into a trust, it is important the premiums be paid by the trust, not by the insured. Payments for fire, auto, or the like types of insurance are ordinary and necessary expenses of the trust if they are to protect and preserve the trust property. I know these things. This is how you protect your trust. So, insurance premiums with respect to policies owned by the trust in which of the trust is the beneficiary. Number 8, any legal fees, bookkeeping fees, accounting fees, tax advisory fees, or other professional expenses on behalf of the trust or incurred for the purpose of running the trust. And 9, all other ordinary necessary expenses incurred to care for the trust. These categories are broken down but aren't exclusive, And, is how you protect it. If you can't put one of the expenses, one of the trust expenses under one of these categories, you're in trouble. You're tripping. You're commingling. You're self-dealing. You're acting outside of the authority of the contract. I don't know what you're doing. You're tripping, though. You're bugging out. You need to go lay down. Take a nap, go to sleep, wake up, get it together. Go in the corner, think about what you did. I don't know. Something. There's one all-important piece of advice for people to remember when dealing with the Internal Revenue Service. Don't. When approached, contacted, or receiving any written communication from the Internal Revenue Service requesting information or stating notice of audit, etc., do not speak with them directly. This is not given for the purpose of encouraging you to be discourteous to members of the Internal Revenue Service. The purpose of this advice is to keep you from releasing any information whatsoever to the Internal Revenue Service that might come back to injure you or cause the trust unnecessary problems. This is true, You should not be speaking to, you're not a professional. You should not be speaking to the IRS. You're not the Board of Trustees. You should not be speaking to the IRS. The courts have ruled that a citizen is under no obligation to do any particular thing. A citizen's failure to act creates no liability, but if a citizen voluntarily attempts to act and do the particular thing, the citizen comes under implied obligation in respect to the manner in which The citizen does it. Waivers of the constitutionally protected rights not only must be voluntary, but must be knowingly intelligent acts done with the sufficient awareness of relevant circumstances and consequences. This is Guardian T&D Company versus Fisher, Brady versus U.S. I like Supreme Court cases. They're dope. If or when you are contacted by the Internal Revenue Service, you will say, and I quote, "Whatever you would like, whatever you want, put it in writing, and I will refer this matter to the Board of Trustees or to my attorney," end quote. If you say more than this, you have said too much. Some people believe if they cooperate with the agent of the Internal Revenue Service, it will be better for them. This is not true. They do not bend rules or grant privileges or favors to people who cooperate. Just because the last word in the name Internal Revenue Service is service doesn't mean they are here to serve. Secondly, the Internal Revenue Service could be classified as one of the most powerful organizations in the United States, considering that the Internal Revenue Service is solely responsible for collecting federal taxes and imposing penalties for late, understated, or evasive filings. The Internal Revenue Service poses one of the largest financial threats to many individuals and business owners. To sum it up, the Internal Revenue Service has unique information resources, legal standing, and roles as a law enforcement agency. On top of that, the Internal Revenue Service also acts as a legislative originating authority with a large amount of freedom to make mistakes without consequences. And this is because no one can penalize the IRS for incorrect tax accusations. So what can we do to minimize the IRS overinflated accumulation of power to protect ourselves from the potential for financial wrath? Unfortunately, there's no concrete answer for that. If there was, the Internal Revenue Service wouldn't be intimidating and widely feared as the agency it is today. Quite possibly the best defense against audits and false evasion accusations is to keep accurate, detailed records of cash flow, payments, earnings, and other financial motions. Depending on your profession, your position within it, your specific approach could be extensive and consuming with regards to time. A meeting with a financial advisor or an accountant is a great place to start to find advice on what financial records and statements are the best to focus on to keep up your guard. Generally speaking, the greater volume of records you keep and their accuracy, the better your chances are for surviving an all-out IRS battle. And you got probate taxes, you got death taxes, you got inheritance taxes, you got generation skipping taxes, you got gift taxes. In some states, you have death taxes. Some states you don't. A lot of times people don't take into consideration that the likelihood of you, the one who organizes the estate, learns how to administer the estate properly from the private side with those private protections, and overall funds the estate with your labor converted, obviously real estate, proper investments, gold and silver and such. That individual or that group of people, more than likely, I would say like 75% of the time, they're not going to have any issues with the Internal Revenue Service. It's after a death of one of the senior trustees, and then this probate kicks in, and then you get this probate attorney for the state that goes and collects the estate property of the decedent. Most people don't know that this is most of the time when private trust estates come under some sort of audit. And most of the time, it's from a probate court and not the Internal Revenue Service. And most of the time, it's the person, the trustee, who first initiated the training, set up the estate, and taught everyone else. Like the main person, the main one who set up the estate, who's the one who passed. And the successor trustees are going to attempt to survive the probing of a probate court trustee, a professional, public, educated in law attorney against your private successors. And without taking into consideration these specific private trust protections, you could be setting your successors up for failure in more ways than one. They can actually lose a lot of the estate, of the value of the property, the money from the estate, because they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have the proper substantiation that, even if they hired an attorney, the attorney needs, firepower to help their client. Even if the trust was brought in the correct jurisdiction, you got to have the proper contracts, minutes, and resolutions, the proper accounting for all of the expenses, so that this probate attorney isn't able to capture any of the trust assets, any of the family private assets. Because to me, this is really what it's all about. Of course, you get benefits for learning this stuff and administering the trust estate. There's a lot of benefits for being private. It's actually great. But this real thing is about multi-generational wealth. It's really what it's about. And when you're looking at the standpoint and you're acting from the standpoint of private trust protection, you're creating an abundance of substantiation so that your successors can lean on to survive any type of action. The IRS, state, federal IRS, probate trustees, and let's say your successors lose part of the estate that you put in the trust, they're going to feel like they let you down. They're going to feel bad, and you're not going to be able to be there to tell them it's okay. They might live the rest of their life feeling like they let you down and having guilt. And really, truly, it's because you didn't keep the proper records. You didn't give them the proper substantiation to stand on to protect that private trust. We're inherently lazy. Let's just be honest. I don't want to do shit. What do you want to do? You want to go to work? I don't want to go. If we could have someone else do our dishes and clean our homes and do our, go to work for us. We live a very leisure lifestyle. I don't like doing trust minutes. I don't find it particularly appealing. I don't like substantiating reimbursements. I don't like when, a beneficiary of the trust of the family estate needs money, let's say for education, and I got to tell them that, I can't just give you the bread. And there's a couple extra steps that you got to go through to substantiate that this is an educational expense according to the trust indenture. No, it's not fun, but it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. Because I'll tell you this, if after I pass, after I shake this dust off of my spirit and get up out of here, if anything happens to the estate, if there's any challenge to the estate, I'm confident that the successors of my trusteeship will be absolutely victorious in keeping the estate whole. And they'll know that we made him proud. We made Dad proud. We made Uncle proud. Because they came at us and we did to them what he would have did. Embarrassed them, made them go away. I used to watch, Uncle Sot embarrass people with, people from the government, lawyers, attorneys. It didn't matter. And he didn't get ignorant with them. He would just talk to them. and make them realize they didn't even know what they were talking about. Then they would get them to leave them alone. And he always told me, people leave you alone if they don't know who you know or what you know. Well, I made them proud. They came in at the estate. We took this and we took that and we hit them with the blah blah, as he used to say. I think it's important, man. I think it's important to put your people in the best position that you can put your people in, especially the successors of your private estate. Or, I don't know. It's hard. Go baby, lay down. Go suck your tummy if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel bad for anyone. We all have the same opportunities, especially when it comes to sitting down and going through whether it's self-directed training, private education, or mentor-directed education. We all have we have the same. I can sit on the internet and learn stuff, or I can sit on the internet and just waste time, and I'll never get back on this earth. TikTok, and people don't pay attention. But one day you're gonna look at your hands; they're gonna be old. They're gonna look like your grandparents' hands when you looked at old people. You're gonna look at your hands; that's what it's gonna look like. And a lot of life has passed you by, and I wonder what type of regrets are you gonna have when your body ain't what it used to be, when your mind ain't what it used to be, when your social circle ain't what it used to be. What regrets are you going to have? Think about it. When there's nothing you can do about it. And are you going to expect people to feel sorry for yourself because you feel shame and regret at the things that you didn't do and the things that you did in your life by your choice? And people be like, oh, so you're mean. I'm real. Speaker of truth. Seeker of truth. So I don't expect nothing. I expect people to do what they do. But I expect you to do your dance and to take this information and run with it. And then email admin@welcometothefoundation and get into trustee training and quit playing. And it's not cheap. And quit making excuses and make sacrifices. Turn something off. Turn the cable off. Turn the Disney Plus off. Turn off the ESPN. There's things that you can do. But, if you want to do different things, you have to do different things. But we got about 60 seconds left in the broadcast. If you're checking out the show online, you're going to want to call in. Otherwise, you're going to get cut off. The call-in number is new. It's a new number now. The call-in number is 563-999-3625. Once again, 563 area code 999-3625. You got about 30 seconds. Otherwise, you will be disconnected. You'll have to check out the archive. But y'all know me. I'm so L. I've been the same since I got here. On the same network. Pretty much kicking the same stuff. But just in different ways and stuff, But, these things, to me, these are important. I see that they're, at least of interest to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be checking this out. But to me, they're absolutely important. Absolutely necessary. Absolutely important. These concepts that we should understand. And, I was just going in on, private trust protection. And a lot of it circles back to proper administration and substantiation, which circles back to proper education. I'm going to go to the phone lines. I see some familiar numbers. So I'm going to start off with 718-8092. 718-8092. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
All right, peace. So how you doing? You know who this is.
Hey,
how you been?
What's the deal? It's Daryl from Brownsville.
Yeah. Saying hello to you and everybody else out there.
What's up, bro?
It's a new Jack City about to take place again. So how you been, man?
Oh, I've been I've been well. Keeping it moving.
That's good. I have some friends who did time, and I yo, how come you always going to jail? They told me because everybody I know is in jail. That's the only reason they go to jail. But you remember New Jack City with Wesley Snipes?
Oh yeah.
But that's about to take place right now too, because they're shutting down a lot of programs. And I heard they were people who they had programs who because I don't know if they're gonna put this thing on routers or whatever they're gonna put it on, but they cutting programs out because New York, we have a lot of programs, and a lot of people come from all over the world, from all over different parts of the United States because I used to work in the shelter system, so it was you come right off the plane from different countries, and they'll accept you, So now what's going on? They're cutting a lot of programs, and when they're cutting the programs, the people, if somebody's on methadone or something like that, and they cutting these programs. So now it's get your drug wherever you can get it from. If you need weed to keep you all right, you need whatever to keep you all right, get it. And that's what's being said, So you got a lot of dudes out there, some of them trying to wean off, and then you got some dudes out there, they just strung out. So it's just something. And then, the cops ain't really doing nothing. It's every little move they make, it's excessive force. So you got a lot of people, they just standing back watching, So, I don't know, I don't know if it's going to take, if this going all around. So just be careful because, if you in need of help, you call 911. 911 may not even pop up. They're like, yo, you're on your own. And we got a good guy come into office, so hopefully he gonna make things all right. He running, and hopefully nobody hates him and stuff like that. But we'll see, like that. He's running from there, like that. But elsewhere, everything is all right. I've been just suspended animation, and I figure let me call you and let you know that I'm all right, and to you and everybody else out there who who familiar with me for coming on the show, but I'm just happy for all the information I get because sometimes I go back and forth with people, but you still there, Sot? Oh man, I got
you
come
right.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh yeah, but I always say money talk. And all that other stuff can walk, because when you got money, you can make history. You can't do anything pretty much about the past and say, oh, it was wrong, but it's all about money. You got a lot of people, they want to talk history, but, they really don't know history. They only know parts of history. But I believe in making the money and, you get do the history because you got a lot of guys out there, they don't want you to get the money. Be like, oh, don't sign that contract with the NBA because they don't want you to get that bread. When you sign that contract, you can get the best tutor. They'll say, oh, mine is a terrible thing to waste. But listen, I love you, always going to love you. I'm going to let you take the next call. All right?
Love you too, man. Appreciate you calling in. It's good to hear from you, man. I'm glad you're doing well.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, man.
I'm glad you're doing well, too. You're welcome.
All right, fam. Peace. Peace and love.
Peace. Peace and love.
All right, man. That's Daryl from Brownsville. That's the deal. It's good to hear from the brother, All right, 929-4056. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace, my brother. Peace, kings, queens, communities, and to my baby brother. My brother saw Al. I've been under the low wire, but I'm going to tell my people something. We watching everything that's going on. We have lost the little bit of respect we've had for ourselves, kings and queens. We've lost our jobs. We've lost our communities. We've lost our education for our children. We are the original people. Get back to the basics. It takes a village to raise a child. Now, all of y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, we get ready to hit this second wave of COVID because they ain't got it figured out. We at the top of the list. If y'all ain't changed your diet, go ahead and make your plans, okay? Because I told you change your diets. I told you to get your vitamin C, your vitamin D, your NAC, your zinc, and your magnesium. We getting ready to hit the second wave. And this wave is worse than the first, people. I'm in the hospital. I'm telling y'all, pull your health together. Now, all of y'all that walked away from your job, that's good. When you got your stimulus, did you invest in your education? Did you buy any silver? Did you buy any gold? What did you do with your money? Please, people, no more weaves, no more manicures, no more sneakers, no silly gold chains. Yeah, like my brother said, you call 911, you remember that song, 911, what's the joke in your town? It ain't no joke, people. They ain't coming out for us. Now, my Black Lives Matter movement, I love y'all to death, but we got to take care of our own first. Until we stop killing ourselves, nobody else is going to respect us. Check yourselves, communities. All of y'all that's trying to get it right, you can't collect a check if you're dead. They want y'all to come back to work so they can finish killing y'all off. Until they get these systems in order, everything is sterilized, clean, and they can find something, we it. Don't be it. Make sure you get your private educations under your belt. Make sure you buy some precious metals. Make sure you get your consultation. Oh, and for all of y'all that was living on credit, that's over now because you know all the credit companies are cutting your credit lines. And you know as well as I know, you are a threat and you are an asset that they can't afford to give up on. So the thing about it is they don't want your bankruptcies. They would rather cut your supplies right now. So what are you living on? Credit cards? The government? You looking for that second stimulus? You better get your business in order, people. They coming for us. To all my people in the struggle, watch your surroundings. Everybody that's with us ain't really for us. Be aware. When your group move, you move with them. When strangers come up in the mix, because we got a lot of wolves in sheep clothing, they not part of us. Our lives didn't matter to you before all of this jumped off. Why should it matter now? And for all the fools that think we stupid, let me help my communities out here. You see all these buildings they trying to burn down? The courts? Contract is the law. Where's all the laws at, people? Protect the very buildings that have the laws and the court cases, because you need these court cases to go back on. If you don't have them in place, what can you go against? What can you compare? What can you research? Because it's all gone. Watch your buildings. Knowledge is power. See, they think we're stupid. I'm going to open your eyes now. Watch the very areas that you need to protect our legal documents too. These are our court cases that have been tried. They already been put on Supreme Court, Appellate Court, every other court. These fools are in the midst of us trying to get to these buildings. Watch yourselves, kings and queens. Watch your surroundings. My brother, watch your surroundings. Watch the wolves in sheep's clothing. Be well. I will be calling back soon. Peace, kings, queens, communities. Apply the pressure more, people. Peace.
Peace. Powerful. Powerful. Always a pleasure, Sister Yvette. Always. Very powerful message. You know, I mean, we in the, you know, I feel like, you know, this is some biblical stuff going on. I don't know if you check the Bible or not. You know, I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? It's just terminology, you know. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say there's some biblical stuff going on, you know. And, you know, a lot of times it can be hard to recognize exactly what's going on around you or the severity of what's going on around you because, you know, we become accustomed and, you know, we acclimate to our surroundings. But make no mistake, it's a crucial time in the world, let alone in, you know, America or anything like that. It's a very crucial time right now. And there's a lot of things, a lot of different energies, a lot of different things coming to a head. And that old, you know, I'm going to do that tomorrow, I'm going to take care of that. Oh, you know, I had this going on, I had that going on, I can't do this, I'm too busy. You know, all this excuses stuff, that stuff is a wrap, you know. We enter in the age of accountability. It's time we got to be accountable. And, you know, I'm dead serious. Those of you who know and don't show, you ain't going to go. It's not going to go. Please believe me. You can say, oh, it's because of Sot, because he said it. Nah, it's because I recognize it. I'm telling you. This stuff ain't going to go. This stuff is getting real. You ain't set up your private estate, you're tripping. You got generations, you got ancestors that are not happy with you. So good luck with that. It ain't on me. I'm handling my business. You know what I'm saying? I got the flag of my ancestors and my people in hand, holding it up tight, strong. For those who's been here before and those who ain't here now and those who didn't make it. That's what I'm doing. And I'm looking around and I see what it is. And I'm telling you, I'm looking around and I see what y'all are. And some of y'all is number ones thinking you're number twos. And some of y'all number ones is really number fours. You need to get off yourself. And some of y'all need to stand up and quit making excuses and quit being afraid to fail. And some of y'all need to get off your high horse and thinking that you're so cool, so dope, so smart, so this, so swag, so drip. Because you're not. And if you would sit down in a room by yourself in the quiet and be honest with yourself, you wouldn't be happy. I can tell by a person's behavior whether or not they're happy with themselves and their choices that they've made in their life up until that point where I come into contact with them. I can tell by the words that you use how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your life, how you feel about your family, just in basic conversation. I can tell by your energy if you're real or not, and I'll let you play yourself. You can tell lies, and I'll be like, yep, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to agree with you. Yep, you're right. You know, I never thought about it like that. I say that all the time. I never thought about it like that. And people think I'm agreeing with them. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just telling you that I never thought about it like that. For most people who are wrapped up in ego, you know, they hear what they want to hear. But, you know, the time for games being played is over. If you ain't sitting straight, you're going to miss the transfer of wealth, this multi-generational wealth that's happening. You've already missed it. If you didn't have your LLC, your business set up, you missed the economic injury and disaster loan, the paycheck, you know, whatever. If you got the stimulus, the $1,200, that's not private. That's not a business. That's, I don't know, some kind of minimum contact maybe. And if so, how long you been listening to high frequency? Oh, you're special. Oh, you're special. You know how many people I've talked to that think they're special? And think their emotions, their anger, or you know, their sadness or some shit, make some mountains moves and shit. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, you can either be, you know, very upset in the future or, you know, who knows, or you could be happy. But the bottom line is, when you're looking at protecting the private trust, you got to be accountable. You got to do the minutes. You got to handle the books. You got to handle the assets. You got to handle the funds, the finances. You got to handle what's good in your life, too. You got to handle it. Like the sister said, you better be taking care of your health. You don't see all these people dying? If you haven't started taking minerals and vitamins and going for walks or something very minimal, you need to be ashamed of yourself. And that's what I'm saying. People be sitting around watching what's going on and not necessarily knowing or acknowledging exactly what's going on. Because if you did, you would be doing different things. I got people all the time consult me. And they say, what should I do first? And I say, whatever, you should probably do as much as you can at the same time. Like, you got time to pick and choose what you're going to do first and then move on to the next thing. Oh, I'm going to set up my LLC and work on the business credit first, and then I'll get back to you about the trustee training or the trust series, or I'm going to work on my personal credit, and then I'll get back to you on setting up my business or setting up my private estate. Okay, yeah, you got this. These people learning new information that you ain't ever come into contact with before in your life, but you know how to do it, right? You know what order of operation to go in, and I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to confront you. I don't have time for that stuff. But the ego is a hell of a thing. It's crazy. And, you know, if you got any of that ego in there, you're supposed to be whooping it. You're supposed to be whooping the ego every day. Every single day. And if you're not, you should work towards that. But as far as, you know, look, I've been doing these shows for like 5 years, man. We're coming on 5 years. I've been doing this half a decade. I can't believe it. We're coming up on half a decade. And maybe, you know, to people who are new, if this is your first time or your third time or your fifth time, you know, you could be like, man, I didn't know you was doing shows for that long. I didn't know you've been out here this long. I didn't know. Okay. I'm not necessarily talking to y'all. But those people who know I'm talking to, you know I'm talking to you. You can be mad at me. Oh, man, he talking, man. Forget that dude, man. He think he, okay, yeah. Whatever makes you feel better, whatever satiates your ego, man. But you know the real. You know the real. Whether you acknowledge it or not. But you get mad when people say it and raise your voice and yell at them. Try to punch him or something. I know that, you know, anytime you challenge a person's reality, you're met with violence, whether emotional, physical, or psychological. I don't got time to argue, but I do have time to, you know, put these shows out every single Wednesday because, you know, I believe in y'all. I believe that, you know, there's just a change in the way that we think. That's all it needs to, you know, most of us, we just need to change a couple things the way we think. And, man, we will open up the world for ourselves right in front of our eyes, right in front of us. But, you know, in order to fix something, you got to acknowledge that there's something wrong. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that there's something wrong with them. I don't know, you turn 18 or 25 and there's some sort of expectation that you're supposed to be perfect, you ain't got no problems. That stuff is weird to me. But whatever. Add me at welcometothefoundation.com. Trustee training, a consultation. I chop it up with you, you know. I'm really a nice guy. I really am, you know. But you know, I feel it. You know, we're getting close to this tipping point. And there's gonna be a point, you know, I'm just gonna be able to tell myself, you know, so you worked for years trying to wake people up and put people in the right position. And the people that you can't help now don't feel as bad because you tried to help people before. That's what I'm going to have to do because I know, you know, we can't save everybody, man. But you can save yourself, and I can help you. So add me at welcometothefoundation.com. You know, at the very least, let's do a consultation. Trustee training, private family foundation, the thing is tax exempt. I mean, all you got to do is learn how to do something differently, and it'll change your whole entire life. But it's up to you. Sacrifice first, though. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all checking out the show. Yes, I'm coming up on 5 years of being on High Frequency Radio Network. It's amazing. That's a lot of shows. It's a lot of content. It's crazy, when I think about it. And I'm very humbled and appreciative to all the listeners of the show, all the archive listeners, the live listeners, live callers. I know I shout y'all out every single episode, but I'm dead serious. I appreciate y'all. You're very inspiring to see, especially like the trustees, to see where y'all start and then to see where y'all end up is some of the coldest, most rewarding stuff that I've ever dealt with in my life. For real. Y'all be amazing me and making me proud all the time, and I ain't nobody. But I definitely like to see the improvement in my brothers and sisters, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful to see my brothers and sisters find their power, find their creativity, find themselves as they learn, it's not because I'm stupid or I don't get it or I don't have any talent. I just didn't understand the rules to the game, and I wasn't properly structured right, and my family didn't know. When I see people realize that, it's some of the most gorgeous things I've ever witnessed in my life, And I want to help you. I want to assist you get to that realization. So admin at welcometothefoundation.com. I appreciate y'all. I definitely love y'all. I might take one more caller or something. I don't even know. We streaming. How much time is left? I'm going to take, so there's a list of callers. I'm going to go to the bottom. So whoever hit one last, I'm about to come to you. There's the bottom. Okay, 915-0068. I know this ain't fair, but I don't know. I just wanted to pick somebody. 915-0068. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Dude, how you doing?
Hey, peace.
How you doing? It feels good to be back on the airwaves. It's all to meet you. Man, I ain't been on the airwaves in a minute.
Oh, what's going on, fam? What's going on?
Yeah, I feel good to be home, man. Hey, you a family name. I don't know. I hope people listening to you and they more integrated than the normal. But my family know you like family. They know when I'm on the phone with you. They know, hey, to keep it down. Any questions? Ask me first. I see if it's even something we need to talk about. Life's been good. Life's been real good. My family thanks you and the foundation, you self included. I mean, I just hope everybody listening in today know that if you want to change your life, you got to think about changing your mind first. Know that this is a lifestyle, and it's very comfortable. I'm not trying to boast or brag, but I'm just saying it's comfortable. I had to drop that jewel for everybody to know.
Yeah, you talking about the private?
The private all day. I mean, I ain't even think I had to say it being in the private. I'm so used to not even saying what it is. It's just a different vibe. Excuse me for everybody that I might have drifted off, but yeah, the private. I don't even call it that no more. That's what I am or do. So, excuse me. But man, trustee training. I hope everybody get a taste of it, because you be holding back the Jews on the radio, and I know why.
I mean, you can't say everything in the public. There's some things you can't say in the public.
No, man. That'll be alerting. I can't do that. But, wow. I just encourage everybody, this trump any university that I done went to. I done been to an Ivy League university before, enjoyed my time there, met some great people, but it was nothing that was my cup of tea. But at the end of the day, I swear, just in I think in less than 3 months, I learned more talking to you over the phone, understand the trustee training, just like you was explaining earlier. than I could ever expected that, even I ever leave school in that short length of time, to be honest. But, that's one of those things people got to experience to see. I can only say so much. But
yeah, you can only say so much. Yeah, that's true.
Man, I only say so much, man.
It's a beautiful
I tell you
thing.
one thing, shout out to anybody thinking about it. If it's something that's on your mind and you think you're a scholar, for one second I thought I was a scholar. Me and Sot talked for a second, before I, did the do. But at the end of the day, what happened to me might happen to somebody else, but what happened to me was, I read, think I'm smart, but then you get to this little gap and you try to elevate, and you like, man, and this is a good question that just ain't right there. You really can't ask it. You got to go through the motion. You got to make your mistakes, and why not have, someone who can interpret the information so you can understand it. So that's basically what, college is, right? Somebody's trying to give you the tools you need to get something done, right?
Yeah.
So I can't find this. You found this course online yet? There's a college course yet? Just a question.
You mean training at the community college?
Yeah.
If you do, it's going to be very different. If you do, it's going to be some very different stuff.
Yeah, very, very different. I don't even think I want to get confused thinking about what it would be like.
Mm-hmm. You be like, man, the third day, you're going to be like, man, what is this? The third day in that class.
You might have a migraine you can't get rid of. Hey, you're supposed to, invest in your private education, not stress in your private education. But man, look, I can't tell nobody what to do. I just know my family thankful. I had my daughter read off her case law. She didn't know what the hell was going on, and I said, "That's good. Let's get that over with now. That way, when you grow older, it won't be so painful. You'll be more, understanding of what you're reading. So it's one day at a time for each his own. And I pray that everybody that's listening to this right now, what I want to say, take that extra step, make that action happen. You'd be surprised what domino effect that I have, for real. But I ain't gonna hog up the airwaves, So you stay doing your thing, man. Keep blessing the airwaves. My fam appreciate it. Oh, and I have one question for you before I let you go.
Go ahead.
Man, how does it feel to be like an assistant generational curse breaker? You know what I'm saying? Because you're assisting like everybody, like breaking generational curses. I want to get to that point of assisting people one day. I'm gonna keep reading, but how you feel? That's a great accomplishment, man.
I'm gonna tell you, if I'm making my ancestors and your ancestors proud, then I'm humbled. I'll say that. That would be very humbling for me, and very it would be very humbling to me. I never thought about it like that, though. Like, for real. I'm not trying to holler at you, but I never even thought about. But I don't, I guess I don't think like that.
Hey, man.
Look, I made a choice, man.
That's
like,
the truth.
Look, you got to understand this, fam. I mean, and I know a lot of people give me credit, and I be trying to be self-effacing, and people like, you being modest, and I'm like, I'm being real, because I made a choice. I can go left or I can go right. I can go public or I can go private. I can go Hollywood or I can keep it real. And I chose to keep it real. I chose not to flake out. I chose not to be down with these upper echelon bougie cats and try to act like I'm better than my people and the people that look like me and the people that's trying to serve me the food at the table. Like, I couldn't do it. I made a choice, man. And I chose that, in this war of the worlds, I'm on the people's side. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And even though I could have made a big step and just been really like almost untouchable on certain levels, man, I'm cool. I was cool and I knew I was cool. So I had a choice, man. Like, I could work for them or work for us. So I chose to work for us. So I'm just doing my job. That's really how I feel, man. I'm just doing my job.
Right. We
I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, man.
We appreciate that,
you know,
for real.
You ever feel like you got something to do and stuff? You know? You just got something to take care of. Like,
your purpose.
That's just how I feel. I feel like I gotta do this. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't. And I'm telling you,
hey,
Sundays come, I'll be like, man, whatever. Wednesdays be coming, I'll be like, man, I don't feel like doing that show, but I do it. You know, unless it's an emergency, I do it. I definitely do it.
Hey, my fam, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I thank you because at the end of the day, truth be told, you know, I call it, you know, a generational curse breaker because what I know, my son gonna know. My daughter gonna know. Their kids gonna know. I mean, I'm not trying to tell them to start a new government and all that, but at the end of the day, man, we're gonna be able to sustain ourselves and not looking for a handout. I mean, that's the art of living, right?
Oh yeah, self-sustainability. That's the honorable. That's noble right there.
So I don't want no problem, and he gonna be thankful. So thanks to you, Sot. You know, the foundation, yourself. List probably goes on and on, but man, we thank you, brother, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate it. Like, you know, it's my pleasure.
Yes,
definitely my pleasure, especially y'all trustees, man. I'll tell you, y'all make me proud, man. You said 3 months and your life started changing. Now you say you comfortable,
man, because you know it was something that I took serious. You know, I would listen to you with the training. You take the notes. You know, you might go to the bank, get the weird looks. Okay, cool. But I swear, 3 months of me like focusing and taking it serious, like not leaving a stone unturned, asking the questions. It was like unlocking a level on Mario, man. It was weird. It's just a small way of putting it.
Man, you know, stuff. Hey, you read something and it hits different, and then other things click, and you know,
it starts.
Yeah, man. It just starts opening up. You're like, oh.
It's like the on the Tino joint. I think I pressed select start when I was supposed to select start. That's what happened. And now, voila. You know, it's just, I don't know. But I'm thankful. Like I said, my family thankful. And, man, hey, I'm going to keep it pushing. As a matter of fact, I'm probably give you a call. I need to give you a call tomorrow. But I'll do that. But you be easy, so thanks to the foundation and everybody. Peace.
Appreciate you, man. Peace and love to you and your family, man. Tell them I said.
Same to you.
I said, what's up?
Already.
Peace and love.
Oh, yeah,
blessings.
already. They listen to the archives every Thursday morning, man. It's like a requirement. And if not, they listen to it in the evening.
Okay.
Get it in.
Tell them. Well, peace to y'all. Peace, y'all listening.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Whether it's the daytime or the evening. Peace. Peace.
Appreciate that one time. Yes, sir. But yeah, you hold it down, man. Peace to the guys and all that.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Peace to the guys.
Yes, sir.
You know, and then I appreciate that, fam, because I don't, you know, there's a lot of companies. You know what I hate? I hate companies and people that steadily send you emails or try to hit you up to get a review and stuff, right? That bothers me, right? So I don't do that. And it's private, and I don't want people coming on feeling like they're obligated to describe their experience in trustee training. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you, D. Demetrius. I appreciate it when y'all come on of your own accord and you describe your experience with trustee training. Like, straight up. I really do. Because it changed my life, man. And I had money already. I'm going to tell you this. I had bread, y'all. I didn't come into this information because I was broke or I was in debt or I was losing a property or, you know, none of that. None of it. And no offense to anyone who came into this information under, extreme circumstances. But me, I had bread. And I was like, yo, the IRS didn't help me make it. I didn't even make it in the States. And it was like, look, nah. And then, the bread I did make in the States. It was like, look, man, they didn't give me life. They didn't give me food. You know what I'm saying? When I was hungry, 6, 7 years old, Pops was all off that stuff. He wasn't coming home for days and stuff. Probably like he forgot about us and stuff. Was crazy, me and my brother. The IRS didn't come knock on the door and give us McDonald's, man. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen, B. Uncle Sam didn't come through and be like, yo, here's some peaches, some pears. I know your parents ain't here. I know the lights ain't on and you're using candles and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're smart, so you're using the lighter to light the gas stove, so you're lucky that you can cook. So here's some peaches and some. Uncle Sam didn't do that, man. So when I finally had some change, y'all, I'm telling you the truth. When I finally had some power, when I finally had some clout, when I finally was doing my dance, I wasn't. Why would I think about the IRS when I felt like they weren't thinking about me? And maybe that's an ignorant way to think about it. I'm telling you, man. Those gas stations, they got donuts and pastries and stuff, and they're fresh, and they come in every morning and stuff, and they throw away the old ones. Me and my brother used to jump in the dumpster to get them joints. IRS didn't come over and be like, hey, my name is Mark, and I work with the IRS. Get up out of that dumpster, young lad. We know you're hungry. Here's some money. Just pay us back in taxes later. None of that stuff happened, fam. None of them fools came to the hood, man, and helped none of us, man. Did they come and help you? Did the IRS come and help you? I would love to know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I should be giving them cats bread. They didn't come help me do nothing. Probate, the state of nothing. The state of Texas, the state of California, the state of Idaho, Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Nothing came and hollered at me like, yo, I see your peoples is off that stuff that we put into your community. I see your parents ain't coming home. Your home is broken. We're from the Internal Revenue Service. We're here to help. None of that stuff happened, fam. Nothing. Not one time, man. My brother gone. They ain't say my brother, man. They ain't say my brother. So what? What? Why would I? Why? For what? And then they teaching me that I'm a slave and stuff? Disrespectfully lying to me. And then the lies are like straight up, like real weird. You know what I mean? I did a DNA test and had it scientifically looked at by a geneticist. And it came back that I have ancestors that was here before the Europeans got. My ancestors aren't slaves, man. How would that work? So IRS didn't come through and holler at my people. It's like, yo, we know you going through this stuff. We know. We tried to draft your pops. He didn't want to go into the war, so we gave him a felony, so he can't get jobs and stuff. He over here selling the stuff. Got messed around and messed with his own stuff. Now he in jail and stuff. We about to help you, little L. We got you. Get up out this foster home. We gonna come take care of you. Never, not once, fam. So maybe in ways we are different. Maybe you came into this information because they was gonna take your house and you was looking at your children, and they was laughing or something over there, and they playing the game and stuff. And little did they know that they could be homeless in 2 months, and you had to deal with the gravity of that situation. Maybe that's how you came into this information. Maybe you came into the information you was in a federal prison and was just trying to make money for your family, or you just lost your temper one time, and they taking all this time of your life, and you just knew in your heart that it wasn't cool. This ain't right, man. And you came into this information. You just started picking up the books. Maybe you came into this information because you wanted to understand, why do they hate us so much? Why? Everybody comes into this information for different reasons and from different positions and different perspectives. And I respect it. I respect it all. None of us is better than any of us. But I'm going to tell you this. If any of y'all was chilling in the house embarrassed to bring your friends home to your house to school because y'all didn't have shit, you ain't had no food, and there was always roaches all over your house. If any of y'all were in them situations, because we were all in these situations, right? I mean, you know how they got us. And the IRS came to your crib and hooked you up with a bond or some shit. Yo, man, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. You will restore my faith in government entities. You know what I'm saying? I have a problem with authority. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to government authority, because it ain't done nothing for me, man. I ain't never called 911 and been helped, saved. I don't think I've ever called 911. But we all see what's going on. You know? Bottom line is I got to take care of mine. Y'all mine. I consider that. We family. But I also got to take care of my family. I got to take care of me. And how I do that is by doing what I know I'm supposed to do. And part of that was establishing my private family estate. Reestablishing. I call it the reestablishment because I think at one time a lot of our families knew this information and they did a bunch of crazy, weird, messed up stuff to those who did, and then they did the other stuff, to, you know, and then here we are, you know, tripping over Jordans. But for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, man, we live in an amazing time. It's wonderful, but we also live in a crazy time. It's absolutely horrendous. I couldn't think of a better word than horrendous. I guess it depends on your perspective where you're at. Some people are, like my man just said, he's comfortable. Some people are hurt. Me, I'm chilling. I'm concerned about my family, other people. I feel a connection, a responsibility, kind of like some sort of fiduciary responsibility. At the trustee of my people or something, but I ain't nobody, you know. I just know a little something. And I'm pretty articulate. I can, you know, communicate. I used to, you know, be in music and stuff, write stuff. I'm a writer. One of the best things I can do is write. So when it comes to contracts and rhymes and lyrics or, you know, letters or affidavits or whatever, I'm pretty cool with that stuff. But I'm also pretty good at, you know, understanding law, you know, complicated concepts and breaking them down. And, you know, I appreciate when a brother get on here and say, you know, he paid attention, he put in the work, and that's what I like to hear. Because he told you something. What did he's thanking me. And, I appreciate you, fam. But here's where I get, you know, where I get humble. You should be thanking yourself. You said you put in the work. You worked. You know what I'm saying? You studied and you left no stone unturned. You know, these are the words you use. And when 3 months, you just bow. Now you all comfortable, you know? I'm just a guy standing here with a sign with information on it. You read it and apply it. And it's a beautiful thing to see, you know? But with that being said, I appreciate y'all. You know, I'm going to wrap this up. admin@welcometothefoundation.com. You know, sign up for the email list on welcometothefoundation.com. But, you know, email me. Let's get a consultation, trustee training, private family foundation, trust series, passport, no social, private consult. Look, man. And, you know, Trust Series Part 3 is coming. It's being edited as I speak, probably not like literally as I'm speaking. But it's done. It's finished. And y'all know I like to do things in threes. Three's the magic number. But I appreciate y'all. I respect y'all. I love y'all. Y'all the reason why I do this. Just so you know. I'm sitting in a restaurant, man. I'll never forget. I was sitting in this really very sophisticated restaurant in Paris, France. You know? And, you know, I'm American. In Europe, they don't really mess with peanuts or peanut butter. You know, we do that over here, but in Europe, they don't really do that. They got cashews, cashew butter, almonds. But they don't really mess with peanuts. And I was trying to describe to the waiter what peanuts were. So I wanted some peanut butter, you know? I wanted to put it on some bread. I needed protein, you know? They have a lot of pork and stuff in France. I couldn't really find chicken. I was eating chicken at the time. Couldn't really find chicken. A lot of pork and a lot of beef. You know, I wanted some protein. And the way that the A&R dude, and he was, you know, he spoke French. But you know, and I don't know exactly what he said. You know, I don't speak French like that, you know. But the way he spoke to that waiter, man, brother, could have been my uncle or something. The way he spoke to him, like I could hear the disdain. I could feel it in his voice. You know, the way he talked to the man who could have been my uncle, and the way his shoulders slumped, and the way he apologized, man. I'll never forget that, man. How am I supposed? I'm supposed to be sitting next to this fool? How he talking to my people like that, fam? Because maybe he got lost on his journey or something, or he wasn't able to capitalize on an opportunity, or just because he's waiting on tables. You gonna talk to him like that? And I don't even speak the language, and I can tell you being very disrespectful, and there's nothing he can do about it. This is why I do this, man. Hopefully you or one of your ancestors don't have to deal with someone talking to them crazy that ain't from from their community, and have to apologize for someone talking to them crazy. My goal, my purpose, is to help put your family into a position to where they do not have to deal with subjugation in the commercial system, man. With that being said, welcome to thefoundation.com. Admin, welcome to thefoundation.com. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I trust that y'all have a great week, a wonderful week. Enjoy your week. Enjoy yourself. Be good to yourself. Be nice to the people that you care about. Even though you see them all the time and you're used to them and you feel like they ain't going nowhere, man, just be nice. And be nice to yourself, Fight off those negative thoughts, those self-defeatist thoughts. Fight them off. You're worth it. You're important. You're special. You're smart. You can do it. You just haven't been given the right examples, and you haven't been given the correct encouragement. But you can do it, and I believe in you. So, make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight. And email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, so I can help you take over the world, crack it wide open. And I'll catch you next week here on the same great station, High Frequency Radio Network. Until then, y'all enjoy yourself. Like I said, take care of yourself. And know that I love you, man. You got this. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.